and I was still lying there, dying. And I got very tired of this experience. So the feeling was that, okay, can you give your life away? Can you take your last breath? And I did. It's a very good to have the little time in the morning as purification, because what happens during the night while we sleep, our liver works extensively, and there are happening a lot of reactions of metabolization of toxins during the night. Coffee is accelerator. Do you want to accelerate on dirty or on clean? So first the cleanse, water, tea, and then a little bit later, then you accelerate. Like this, you have a clean acceleration. You will have a brighter thoughts, and there will be less fast decline because the engine will have a more pure gasoline that is coffee. The importance of physical activities is incredible. It will give you all the endorphins that you're missing, and so sports are not negotiable. It's very necessary of doing nothing, and also just spend time with yourself, without meditation.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Awareness Club podcast. In the episode today, my guest was being passionate for all her life about the interconnectiveness of the mind, body, and spirit, and she arrived to study the body to propose to people how they can improve their health and also discover their own self. I'm having with me Marina Matkova-Jahlan. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's a great honor, and I'm very, very excited about the Awareness Club and your initiative. It's a big honor to have such a light workers, and your activity is really inspiring, and I wish you well. And today will be very exciting to be your guest.
Thank you very much. And likewise, the pleasure is mine to have you here. And you are already building a community before us and bringing therapists and passionates about spirituality or only about their own body together. So we have something to learn from you as well. Let's start with your own self. I would like to know from where it's rooted, your passion about discovering how the body works and how we can improve our health.
It started during my childhood. I was finishing the high school, and that was the first time when I said to my parents that I would like to study medicine. So my mother told me, you know that you will need to touch sick people and stuff that is not very appealing, that the study medicine is much more than just to be with a white suit at the doctor's office. So she told me, go work as a social worker during the summer. And so I went. I was helping grandmothers. I was washing them, helping them to take a bath, doing groceries for them, and also even cleaning their places. And so I did that for a summer. I really enjoyed it, especially the stories that grandmothers shared about wartime and things like that. So then I passed that test of my parents, being sure that I can handle something like washing old grandmothers, or taking care of their pharmacy, buying medication for them. They allow me to try and get into the medical academy. I was not sure that I want to study enormously long, and I was not sure which specialty I want to take. So I gave a try to just to do first 4 years of rehabilitation faculty and nutrition science. And then I did master in that. So together it was 6 years. And for me, it was enough of medical knowledge of histology, biology, biochemistry, psychology, and pathology to understand how works the human body. But I was absolutely ignorant to mundane work of the doctors. I was very passionate about pharmacology, the molecules and things like that. But what I was finding absolutely awful, that person comes and say like, okay, pain here or something is not working there, and just give a treatment, and that's all. That was not making sense for me. So then I did more of courses in functional medicine and a lot of congresses and conferences in anti-aging and longevity medicine. And that was my field of passion, the functional medicine. So the data about the human body, all possible tests from blood, from urine, from saliva, from stool, all machinery scans, and also the supplements, medication. That was my passion. So later on, then it's also got a little bit into integrative medicine.
Okay, so before going forward, let's define for the ones that don't know the term, what is functional medicine?
Functional medicine is that you collect the data about the body and then you do something about it. Like,
What can be the data?
functional medicine therapists are trained to see the synergies between the blood parameters that regular doctor would be ignorant on, and also the reference, the innovative medicine congresses, longevity congresses that we take part of. There are some references like iron or vitamin D that we laugh about, that is like too low. Yeah, that, you know, to keep up healthy, you would need much higher vitamin D than the, let's say, regular French reference states. So we have a special approach to the blood work analysis, and then of course other body fluids that carry incredible amount of information, like saliva. You know, everybody knows the genetic tests, so you can decode your genome and then you can dive into epigenetics. Also urine. Actually, in urine, there's more precise way to see the vitamins and such interesting molecules like serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline, GABA, the neurotransmitters, and also the famous stool test. Yes, the microbiome, that for me is more showing the root cause of some health challenges. Then in blood work, you can just see the symptoms. Yeah, so I'm more keen to discover together with the client the root cause. And that makes it difference in functional medicine from ordinary, regular Western medicine, that is just symptom medication. And in functional medicine, we look interconnectedness of all systems, and we try to find the root cause. That takes sometimes a little bit of the time.
But you are saying that you are seeing the result before even the test came up.
Well, seeing thousands and thousands of results, of course, in my little head, of course, there's some synergies that appear. So actually, I sent you a questionnaire and there was only 10 questions, and I looked at your answers and I was like, oh, okay, he has afternoon energy drop, but he's gluten. How smart is that? So yeah, sometimes it takes for me just the 10 questions to understand, like, okay, that would be so simple to not have your energy drop in the afternoon.
You are mentioning to find the root cause. What can be the root cause?
Well, it's very hectic environment where we live in nowadays. One of the biggest root causes are pollutants in the water, in the air. So, slowly it shows in the body. That's why we can detect heavy metals in the urine. Yeah, and then recommendations would follow how to consume less of heavy metals, for example, to wash your rice or to consume more biologic agriculture veggies and eat less of tuna conserves. Yeah, simple things like that. But a lot of sporty people are eating tuna salad every day, and then they have these dark circles, their hair fall off, they have fatigue, they don't recover after trainings, but they never thought about not having a tuna salad.
Let's go a little bit deeper into this type of recommendations that are very practical. Except the tuna salad and except the gluten that I'm not seeing in my alimentation, what is the other things that we can look up for?
Well, it's very personalized. So someone can be good with gluten food and someone can be absolutely intolerant for it. I honestly, I try to avoid such a general recommendations because my whole work is very, very personalized, and even the data, like doing so many checkups, it's just the data. The question is what you do about it. And for someone, it's easy to stop the tuna salad. And for someone, I will say, when you're at the Maldives, please have your tuna freshly caught from the sea and forget about it. Like, forget about the mercury in tuna fish. Yeah, so sometimes it is this like letting go and having a little poison. So it's all in moderation, right? Definitely nowadays, it's more and more difficult to keep it clean. Yeah, it's more about like going to the supermarket and like having very few options that actually doing good for the house. So the most important is nutrition, right? So yeah, if you can find some food that is from biodynamic agriculture, that's super precious. But even in Carrefour, you can find some biodynamic fruits and veggies. That's a good tip. Yeah, biodynamic, you know what it is?
Please explain.
Yeah, it's even higher level than biological agriculture that we already know that uses less pesticides and all chemicals. And biodynamic agricultures are also giving soil time to relax. So they are switching the fields, and they are also counting when to plant something regarding to the moon cycles and things like that. And when you eat that food, you definitely get more of the vitamins and minerals.
And this is something that it is pretty old. This is how the crops should be like. And I remember that when I was going to my grandfather, he was explaining me how he would be planting something on that field in some years, and then he was changing with something else. And then I was also meeting in my life other people that were planting different type of herbs or even legumes with the moon cycles. So it's not new things, it's not new discoveries, it's having the old knowledge coming back alongside with the science that is keep on evolving and is giving its part as well. So now I think that we are in a beautiful moment in human evolution where it's a blend of the new technology with the old knowledge accumulated in time and even with past civilizations. So you are speaking until now about what we intake. So it is the food and the food, the water, and this is on one side. On the other side, it's also what we take as information, what we take as experiences, or what we take from our environment that is also a compound of our health.
Yeah, definitely. This is my big part of work with the clients, is that we go through their lifestyle, and these are hacks for everyone. What to do after you wake up, how do you wind down in the evening, and what's your routine of putting the phone off. And it's banal things, but there's a lot of people that still struggle with that, and with the amount of information, of course, everything is exciting, and then we end up scrolling until very late. You know how it happens. But then the biohacking world, I'm advising my clients on glasses, protection glasses, the red lamps at home, to create this soothing environment to allow the nervous system slowly to wind down. And in a lot of households, it's not done, and there's that's like a cycle of life, and cycle of the problems, that there's a small kids running around, the lights are very bright, so the melatonin is not synthesized, so it's a struggle to put them asleep. Then the parents are tired. So my work is to sit with a client and discuss all their life, and then to see where is these things where can be harmonized, and where can equilibrium recreated. And yeah, so my work is more about just the overall well-being. And sometimes it, like 99 problems falls off. That's why I do have medical concierge company, and we have amazing doctors in my network. But sometimes we consult just with a few precise questions, because the overall well-being is taken care of thanks to our community, with amazing teachers. Would it be Kundalini yoga? Would it be Qigong? And also even like a neighbor biological farm that brings the veggies and legumes to Monaco, straight from Gorbio. So that's my way of offering this wellness and medical concierge. And I hope that's a little future for medicine to grow. Like, I'm a big advocate for integrative medicine, and I hope it will take more and more energy into it, and there will be more practitioners.
Why do we call it integrated?
It combines all fields of medicine, and not only. So it combines innovative medicine, functional, systemic, preventative medicine. I don't really like those words like anti-aging medicine, longevity medicine, because a lot of the times they are fear-based. So I try to attract the clients that are awakened and conscious, instead of like, give me a pill and I want to live forever. Yeah. So the integrative medicine is kind of combining all, plus it also gives the room for importance of mental and spiritual health.
Listening to you until now, until you're mentioning now these topics, I was thinking how our emotions and our states from day-to-day living are impacting also our health. And how important is that when it's so linked to the symptoms that a person might have. Are you considering as well their state of being on a day-to-day life into this process?
Yes. Here's the data helps. So we do the urine test, and it comes with a 35 parameters of neurotransmitters. And 99% of the time, it really matches the person's character and their lifestyle. So let's say low serotonin, heightened dopamine, low cortisol, which I see much more often than heightened cortisol. Like, most of people are in slight burnout than like agitated. Yeah. So it's interesting to compare all these neurotransmitter parameters and hormone parameters to their character. And this is what's like, the root cause of it is their daily life, right? And so then most of the time we were working on calming the nervous system and relearning how to switch from dopaminergic energies, adrenaline energies, to this soothing serotonin and GABA energies. Especially it's difficult for women that we are now in this world of business and, everything needs to be done, focus. That is absolutely not the nature of women. Yeah, we should be in this fairy mode and just ha, ha, ha. And so most of my clients are women, yeah. And so we are relearning to get the things done in the first part of the day. And from the noon, it's a fairy mode. Like whatever comes, some difficult tasks, just postpone them to the morning where you're still on this dopamine mode. And for men is a little bit different. For men is also like these cortisol spikes, very, very strong impact on the character. And or opposite also, there's so many like lazy man or what I see, too weak, just too weak, like no stamina, no purpose, no determination. So and a lot of the time it comes with a low dopamine. So what we do with this, like low serotonin, low dopamine, we see in the urine test, we see the amino acids that are actually precursors for these neurotransmitters. So the treatment would be just to give them some amino acids that would give more of the dopamine or serotonin. That is sometimes doing incredible job, but then it all comes back to the digestion. So normally, if we should eat a good food, we should have all these amino acids. But with a stressful life, the digestive system is not doing the work properly, so you're not digesting protein as you should, and so you don't get those precious amino acids to create those neurotransmitters. So hack to everyone, sometimes taking digestive enzymes can give more energy or can augment the mood, just because the food will be better digested and you will get naturally those precious molecules as a precursors.
Looking at the body, how it works, and understanding what it needs in order to have a better life and to perform better. On the other side is what we are also saying in this podcast about looking inside, and maybe topics from your life that you don't want to see, or traumas that you don't want to touch, that are keep coming on to you and are sucking your energy because are open programs in the background that are never closed or never touched, and not according them attention in order to be able to be integrated and moving forward. And I'm saying this because it's complementary to what you are saying. On one side, I see that is the body and trying to making it work as best as possible, because why not? We are having only one body, my body, my temple. And on the other side, it is what we are doing and how we are evolving on a spiritual framework, if you want, which also is interconnected with the psychological, emotional, transgenerational traumas and all this type of stuff. So this brought me to the new topic of how did spirituality arrive in your life?
It arrived after the birth of my son, Honore. He was still a small baby, and I was burnout mom, doing my internship in Monaco Princess Grace Hospital. And yeah, there was a friend who said, there's a retreat, let's go for 3 days, you will recharge the batteries. And so I listened his advice, and this is very important to do such an experiences with extended states of consciousness in safe environment, especially in the places where it's allowed. These kind of experiences with a plant called ayahuasca. It was still in the gray zone in Italy. Now it's forbidden, but that time it was still, let's say, not allowed, but not forbidden either. So there was a lot of retreats going on. And yeah, that was my first experience that changed my life, changed definitely the knowledge that I received about the interconnectedness of all systems in the body, together with a mental and spiritual health included. Like I saw the map of all our thoughts and how different thoughts have a different angle, and how you can actually change the perspective and have fear turn to opportunity and motivation, for example. So I saw that incredible visions that remains with me nowadays, and that helps me to go through some daily challenges because I just always remember, oh, just look from another angle. Yeah, so that's was the beginning, the beautiful beginning with one single retreat of free ceremonies, and after being connected with the shaman and continuing it also on request for private clients from Monaco or surroundings, and facilitating ceremonies.
So what was this bringing to your life? It was coming with these visions, which were creating you more clarity on the overall vision of what you can do. But then on a personal level, on the growth level, because it was starting a new chapter in your life, working with a shaman, getting into rituals, not data, and so on. And I would like to understand more how you evolved from that point on this spiritual side.
Oh, it was very organic, and yeah, I felt like a bridge between spiritual and material, dark and the light. And it's just beautiful to have these experiences and be in the middle where it's all connected. And yeah, just to always know where to come back to the light. But it doesn't mean that you don't go into the darkness. Yeah, we're all human. We are doing the mistakes, and especially like this gives you capacity to also understand your clients, yeah, their trauma, their challenges. Like all these retreats and ceremonies and practices gives you enormous ability to listen, to feel, because a lot of the times I clearly see the solution, but with the clients I always use the filter: is the person ready for this changes? Yeah, like clients come and say, I want more energy, and then it's like, what you're gonna do with that energy? Because if I give you some supplements that will give you like energy, now it's easy. Yeah, just boost mitochondria with our NMN powder, you will have a charge. Yeah, but what you're gonna do with that energy? Will you like scroll more? Will you watch Netflix more? Will you do just like more of the shopping? Or you're gonna participate in charity events, you're gonna make some arts, you're gonna spend more time with your kids. So that kind of fineness with offering a pill, yeah, to making sure that it's going in useful direction for humanity.
So what you're describing is your impact in society and on people as guiding them towards not only improving but also evolving.
Well, I think it's a very natural path because we see what's the state of the world right now with the ecology and with all this nasty foods in the supermarket, and with a political situation that forbids a lot of things, a lot of innovative technologies, even for health. A lot of things are still in research for many, many years. And then on the other side, you have in the supermarket all the dyes, artificial colors, conservants that are doing very bad for the health in the long term. So with this situation, yes, I'm guiding and sometimes saying, please don't use that, please don't do that. And on the other side, redirecting clients towards the healthy lifestyle.
We are attracting in our life what we need to, and we are experiencing what we need on our path. And most of times these changes, big changes, come in our life, like having a kid, like having a ayahuasca ceremony for the first time, are coming with a lesson, or are coming because we are attracting because we need them. What it changed in your life that you are needing to switch from?
Well, for me, it was definitely to face the fears. So after the first retreat in Italy, soon after, we had a beautiful journey to Colombia jungle. And I had sit in the ceremony and drink ayahuasca with a shaman of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that was life-changing again. I felt so impressed by it. That is the shaman of Arnold Schwarzenegger that I had a little bit too much. And I had this near-death experience, and where your ego dissolves and you're just there on the floor, and you can't do nothing except like facing your fears, deepest fears. And for me, that's why I'm so careful of recommending such an experiences, yes, because I went through the very harsh, humbling experiences. Usually ayahuasca ceremonies until early morning. And with this Arnold Schwarzenegger shaman, I was on the floor still at 3 o'clock during the day. So all retreat already had breakfast, already the lunch, and I was still lying there dying. And I got very tired of this experience. So the feeling was that, okay, can you give your life away? Can you take your last breath? And I did, because of the exhaustion. And this is where I woke up. So that strong can be these plant ceremonies. That's why it's not recommended for everyone, and definitely not everyone needs to do that, because it can push you to face the biggest fear of life, that is death.
And in the end, because we were discussing and bringing the topic of the fear of death, actually this is the fear that it's the most pregnant on us aging. It's because we are having all this spiritual development and evolution, and we can go through it through experiences like this. But then there are a representative of how people are spending their life and embracing even after they retire. People don't, they are spending money on parties, and they are fulfilling their dreams, or even taking sports car at 75. It's only because bringing the youth back. It's not because it's suiting for a man that is 75, but it's bringing him further away, at least mentally, from death itself. So I think it's a beautiful and so fruitful topic that can be brought in people's life, the fear of death, because once you accept that, then your experience of life itself, it's much more freer, and also brings also more responsibility into the quality of what you're experiencing, because you are aware that your life is finite. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, moving forward, how did you arrive from having personal experiences towards creating a community around spirituality?
I think these light workers, we just attract each other. Then there is some collective consciousness that definitely brings the groups together, right? As the party people, the same, the spiritual people also start to mingle, and just also to feature that in very nice way, share your experiences. So let's say every year I do Vision Quest, that is dry fasting on the mountain without any gear in very restricted area. And of course, it's also challenging to stay 5 days without water and food and with any weather conditions. Is it hot or cold, or also wild animals that are cruising around like wild boars or elks. And then you come down and you share about this experience, and of course it motivates someone or inspires someone, and this is how this community creates. And I'm very happy to share very reasonable happenings that are done by other teachers, masters, and so we just have a group where we share the experiences that are happening around. Would it be a spiritual retreat to Costa Rica, or any other happening like a breath work or a cold plunge. Yeah, but that it's all, let's say, aligned, and the teachers know each other, and there's some sense. Yeah.
Now, because you are saying about the cold plunges and about other practices, what are your daily practices?
I start the day with hydrogen water. So I charge the water with hydrogen. Then I lift my glass to the sun. I say to the water, thank you for life. Thank you for liquid love. Thank you for all goodness that comes with you, for clarity. And I hope that this water remains pure for future generations. And so then I drink it. That's how I start the day. I do intermittent fasting, so usually I don't have any breakfast. Like what is now 4 o'clock? I had one banana before coming to you. So the food is very limited window. I'm not so good having breakfast, so that would be a challenge to switch the metabolism, but I'm more like hungry at 6 o'clock. That's my time of the day to have a good meal. And I love sports. I have very particular sports routine, but that keeps me alive. Yeah. A lot of people that go to psychiatrists and are prescribed medication, and then I talk to them. I say, did your psychiatrist ask you about the sports routine? And they're like, no. I say, okay, change the doctor, because the importance of physical activity is incredible. It will give you all the endorphins that you're missing, and yeah, so sports are not negotiable. A little breath work, yeah. Somatic practices, like somatic practice I need to do every 2 weeks, just to let like a frequency music and let my body just get out the tensions that I get from the Wi-Fi routers and city life.
And how do you do it?
After Kundalini awakening, I just naturally have this body like shaking and like liberating from fascia, the tensions. And Qigong helps as well. That's a favorite martial art practice. What else I do? I track my sleep. Yeah, sleep is very precious. Yeah, so like it's interesting. I take different supplements before I go to sleep, so I can measure which supplements affect my deep sleep phase.
And what did you observe regarding sleep?
I studied Harvard University Neuroscience courses, and I'm a big fan of their protocols. So I see a combination of magnesium L-threonate with apigenin and omega-3. This is my triangle of deep sleep success. Methylfolate as well in the evening, ubiquinol for the good heart, HRV. Yeah.
And you are doing them for periods of time or on a long?
It's everything in moderation. So now it's been 2 weeks, my Aura ring is off, and I give it a break. Because it gets a little bit addictive to wake up and immediately look your phone, like how was my sleep? How was my sleep? So I'm aware about that. So I do phases of good and free flow, especially same as with alcohol. Like I had 4 years of absolute abstinence of alcohol after that ceremony with the shaman. Yeah, but then like I just listened my spirit, and I was going through a challenging moment in my life, and the spirit came and said, "You need to restart drink alcohol." I'm like, "No way, no." Yeah, darling. Now you start drinking, and it was amazing. So I eat red meat if I want, especially before like women days. So it's this balance between like good and better.
Running our life on intuition or running our life on metrics? Because both are helpful. If we are going to a natural side, you will say that by intuition you will always know what you need. On the other side, if you are not aligned with yourself, your intuition is not so clear, so you will think that your desires are your intuition.
Yeah, well said.
When do you make a shift? When do you follow more your intuition? When do you feel more to have the data? All of that is actually based on intuition?
I think this comes from ceremonies with Native Americans, or Mexican traditions, where you are exposed to very long ceremonies and very disciplined prayer. So the years when I started to do these prayer ceremonies around the fire, that is way different from ayahuasca or magic mushrooms, where you lay down and you're seeing the visions. There are ceremonies that everybody sits and they are very well organized. This teaches you to have in real time incredibly deep introspection together with a prayer, aligning all of your bodies and listening deeply to Great Spirit and with your heart and with a very low ego. Otherwise, the medicine will just smash you. Yeah, like you will just fall off because it's a very long process. Yeah, same like a sweat lodge. Yes, it's very hot, very exhausting. So when you went through these experiences that are pushing you to the limit, but you keep on praying and you keep on, connecting to your heart and just believing in this higher purpose, this teaches you this incredible discipline and ability to listen to your heart no matter what.
The body tells the truth about your state, and it gets in all the trauma that we are passing is stored in the body. The expression of our face, the body language, everything is stored in our body. How to follow our body while also bringing on one side discipline, on the other side being soft with it? Where do you find this balance?
Yeah, first of all, the cleansing. Yeah, so all the spiritual practices and daily practices, there's a big part of cleansing. So this I learned with these rituals that are dating back to 20,000 years, 10,000, 5,000. I've done actually the whole, retrospective of natural plant medicine at Anti-Aging Congress in Monaco. So I've done a scientific work depicting that it's not some new age voodoo things. Yeah, but it all teaches how to clean your body. And would it be like this sweat lodge where you sweat, or it would be fasting, or it makes liberation in the body so that spirit can have more place.
Perfect. Let's structure the information and let's see how we can clean our body. You were giving some examples, but let's do something that we can do more regularly, or some that we are doing on bigger chunks of time. Maybe once a year, as you were saying about that retreat and so on. Let's do some structured information about it.
Yeah, so we were speaking about this first water in the morning. So I think it's a very good to have the little time in the morning as purification. Yeah, because what happens during the night while we sleep, our liver works extensively. And there are happening a lot of reactions of metabolization of toxins during the night. So if you wish, when you wake up, you're a little bit dirty. That's why first thing we go to the bathroom. Especially for men, you guys, you have pretty high testosterone. So when the testosterone breaks down, it breaks down into estrogen. So when you wake up, you're full of estrogen. Yeah, and it goes out with a pee, and we can measure it. So the first part of the day is cleansing. You drink water. I always recommend to everyone drink a green tea or a black tea. That will give a free ride for the toxins. Then, of course, there's some supplements that can accompany morning detoxification.
Coffee or not coffee? Because you are saying black tea. It's a replacement for
coffee is accelerator. Do you want to accelerate on dirty or on clean? So first the cleanse, water, tea, and then a little bit later, then you accelerate. Yeah, like this you have a clean acceleration. You will have a brighter thoughts, and there will be less fast decline because the engine will have a more pure gasoline that is coffee. Yeah. So that's the cleaning part of the day, then the acceleration, and then the winding down. So let's say these are 3 types of what I follow and what I offer to my clients to follow.
And also then for cleansing, you are saying like, for example, sauna. And I know that for sauna, it's also good for microplastics, also for heavy metals. It's very important, and also for getting out the toxins, no? Which is obviously
super important are minerals. Yeah, we are the soil. Yeah, we are based from the minerals. And with the nowadays situation, with the poor soil where the crops are growing, we are lacking big time the minerals. So I start my day with shilajit raisin into the water or tea. Then I start other minerals, adding other minerals on top. Of course, everybody knows magnesium, but that I'm taking more in the evening. But iodine, I'm drinking water with electrolytes in the morning, so I feel really this electricity charging my body, and then I can go all day, with the very precious energy that I can work many hours.
I think even though we are living in the best period of humankind, because if we are going backwards and looking into the history, it was terrifying. It is terrifying. So having still wars and still having problems I think this is normal in a dual world, because this is how we understand concepts, through its antagonists. But on the other side, I think we are really living some magical times. Magical from a scientific, technological point of view, but also magical from potentiality, from opportunity that humanity is having. Because now, it was never in human history a time when people were thinking about how to solve transgenerational trauma. It was not time for that. People were having the first need, which is to live, to have food on the table on a daily basis, and so on. So I think it's an opportunity, and this is what we are feeling also in our kids, because it's the first time when we are not taking the baggage from one past generation to the other, and so moving it from generation to generation. And with this type of practices and teachers that we are having among us, we are able to break these patterns, even though, as you are saying, rituals like ayahuasca are from, I don't know, more than 10,000 years maybe. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a very interesting period of humankind, and of course it has its dark parts. I mean, we will not have challenges otherwise. But I wanted to ask you, how do you see people in the last years since you arrived in Monaco? How do you see this openness to spirituality, or towards people that are more tend to look inside of them to find out what they need to overpass, or even looking towards their body and what they can offer to their body in order to evolve? Do you see an improvement in the past years?
Yes, that's why I'm here. I really admire the big businessmen and opinion leaders and all investors and that we have in Monaco, and a lot of them are very high state of consciousness. That's why when some shamans or some teachers are coming and like, oh, the billionaires are not happy, they're very happy. Oh, they are not conscious, they're very conscious. A lot of them are super, super high level of intelligence and spirituality, and everything is intact. And that's why it's amazing to have these people as my clientele, because they can do a really big changes in their investment, or they are already doing that, not investing in the factories that pollute, but putting the filters at least on those factories, or changing their investment, like impact investment. Like in Gestalt, all this movement of impact investment. So I adore to work with these people. And when comes these high net worth individuals, and I see that they are yet a bit sleepy and not aware of what's going on, then for me it's super easy to play on the data of their checkup. So I simply show their heavy metals, and then I do this like sad face. I like, so many toxins from polluted, especially if I know I checked where do they invest, because it's big personalities. And then I say, for you, we all do the glutathione by IV. We have this toxophoresis, and we have all these technologies. But for your kids, and then they are like, okay. And so there are these moments where we work with the community of Monaco to raise the awareness about ecology and change their investment patterns. This is, I find, very exciting, where the big leaders change their perspective into more ecology friendly.
This is raising awareness. So we are completely on the same page here.
Yeah.
Regarding spirituality and about this balance between what we are doing with our body, the actions, what we are intaking, and what is our openness to our higher realms, how do you see this interconnection with the plant medicine, with other entities that we are attaching to in order to move forward, and where our own alignment is sufficient for moving forward?
The plant medicine or other practices, these are the instruments, right? So everything is some egregores that that helps you to recenter, recalibrate, and that's why it's very necessary of doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And also just spend time with yourself, yeah, without meditation, yeah, just like that's my advice to people: just lay down for 15 seconds and just observe what's going on. Like, can you slower your thoughts, and can you just hear your heartbeat and just be?
I was having this experience with a girl that was channeling your soul, or making the bridge easier if you are not so aligned or so sensitive in order to communicate with your own higher self. And how I can do this connection and to have all the responses that were in this session more often and without a person that is intermediary. And the response was coming to just offer some time to meet yourself. It is, but not having a purpose, not having a purpose of meditation, to doing some breath work before or after, or including anything else. Just don't have a purpose. Just offer some time to meet yourself. And that I found so natural and so normal and so, yeah, so normal. But in the end, when you are in this purpose-driven world, that my purpose is now to become better, or my purpose is to improve my meditation technique in order to be more efficient or to be more charged, or everything comes with a benefit. When you forget the benefit, you are actually touching more into that natural state and the natural flow of things.
Exactly what you explain is what the vision quest is for. Yeah, that originally this practice of vision questing was the rite of passage for the young boys, yeah, just to prepare for the adulthood. But I find these 4 days and 4 nights on the mountain alone. You're not allowed to bring not a journal, nothing. So it's just you and you. And you also don't move. Yeah. So you just be. And for some it can be very challenging. That's why there is a preparation, purification, and integration after. Because being with yourself for 4 days and being so in unity with nature, because you start to, as you don't drink, you start to breathe the water. Yeah, so you just wait when this evening will come and these little clouds will come down to the mountain, and you're like, oh, my bottle of water, and you start breathe naturally more deeply, and there's like a drop of water appears here, and yeah, but this only you can experience. You're not prepared for that. So and that's why it's called vision quest, because at certain moment, if you're lucky and if you're humble enough and you listen very carefully, there will be the vision will come to you. And so definitely after being with myself for extended amount of days with no interaction with others, with no phone, that's marvelous. And I can only recommend for others to do maybe not such extreme, yeah, although everyone's invited, but yeah, just do the nature getaways, because I think in the nature is a little bit easier to get grounded and to hear yourself and be with yourself. Yeah, on the mountain, then you get into also that morning, evening, yeah, the sun movement, and that's beautiful part of it. And the whole mountain starts to talk with you, like every bug will make sense, every cloud is making sense. And so you have like nonstop Netflix, and you're like, wow, where I am. And then the whole universe is talking to you. That's the medicine of the mountain, the forest. You hear all the sounds, all senses becomes open. So after that, of course, I feel a lot of strength. And when I speak with the clients, I feel that they listen.
And about the integration?
So we are planted on the mountain, and then we are gathered from the mountain. Then we enter in the sweat lodge. So after 4 days of dry fasting, you still need to sweat a little bit more before you get served a first glass of water. So you receive a first glass of water, and before drinking it, you need to quickly tell your experience. So yeah, but these words that comes from the mouth of people that haven't had glass of water for 5 days, that's why I'm doing that. Like the sincerity, the authenticity, the genuine words of the soul, it's incredible. And then even the first drop you put on the earth to thank, and then you drink and you pass the water to the next person that haven't drank for 5 days neither, so you don't take a long time. So that's the integration. Then you have a festive meal all together, and then you have a 1 year to integrate, because it's like, let's say 1 year will be as your 4 days on the mountain. So it's like every season is what you lived on the mountain. So as was your first day, that will be the first 3 months. So there is this like 4 directions, and east, north, yeah. So that's all playing around the year. So that's the integration of Vision Quest.
Now let's come back to a topic more concrete, which is neuroscience. And I know that your work is also linked in neuroscience, and I would like for you to define what part of neuroscience and how does it help your work and people in general.
Oh, here we first need to go back to invisible world, because in the neuroscience, even during the courses of Harvard University, each professor starts the lecture with, "We don't know so much about the brain." That's every lecture starts with this phrase. So there's a lot of invisible going on. That's why the professors are so careful with psychedelics, because we don't understand which receptors. It should only affect the serotonin, and no, it's much more than that. Yeah, that's why we are careful with the plant medicine, or also medication. Yeah, even the standard medication is not fully understood. Why some people take Prozac and they start to shake and others no. Why some people lose orgasm from Prozac and others don't. Yeah, this is all about the neuroscience, those small receptors. So what I see in the urine test depicts just a tiny bit, and of course we compare it with a person's feelings and how they really perceive. And then of course we have molecules in the natural supplement form, like saffron, sacred basil, griffonia, 5-HTP, that can nourish serotonin receptors and make them more vivid and more flexible. on the other side, like antidepressants will just block them, for 24 hours. That's why the plant substitutes, you would need to pop up, let's say, every 6 hours or every 8 hours, and they will make your receptors more healthy instead of just blocking them. So my work is to renegotiate with client and offer them different scenarios to go back to their doctor and discuss, can they maybe try to take medication off and try the natural substitutes, or also I have this incredible network of conscious, innovative doctors that work with combinations of natural and standard medicine. Sometimes standard medication is also required for a little while. So I'm not against absolutely any drugs. So the neuroscience is a big subject. Of course, everybody just wants to have the elevated mood, less of the mood swings. And it's for women, it's absolutely crucial because obviously with a menstrual cycle, it affects a lot the hormones. And so then to combine, the neurotransmitter also with the womanhood, it's a interesting part of my work, where other herbs come into play, where more like womanish herbs that supports hormonal system and
Womanish herbs?
like the raspberry leaves or black cohosh or Mexican yam or shatavari from Ayurveda that will accompany hormonal imbalances during the months. But this again requires the blood work in the beginning of the cycle, in the end of the cycle. Then big part of my clientele is also ladies who wants to conceive. So then we see the ovulation, and if the ovulation is not strong, then again we have the supplements that can, boost the ovary function. So it's very interesting how you can affect with supplements the physical health, and taking in account mental state and what's on that side, with what is not processed trauma, what is unprocessed, what blocks infertility, what blocks fertility. So that's why I redirect my clients to coaches, to psychologists, to medicine women, to traditional animal ones, to different persons in my network, to together have this team of practitioners that also can call each other and say, okay, this is going, okay. And this is how we can help some people from different parts to achieve their goals. And the goals are very different. Like somebody wants a kid, somebody is going through divorce, somebody is like just willing to have more energy for work, and someone absolutely has apathy and no willingness for life. So regular stuff.
So, Marina, at this moment in your life, what is the one message that the world needs to hear from you?
Take care of all your relations to yourself and to the others.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bogdan.
It was a real pleasure to spend time with you, to meet you, to be in your presence, and to hear both your evolution and how you are helping others to do so.
Thank you, and I hope to look your podcast with so many interesting people that you're gonna invite, and I hope we will also have more of meetings, physical meetings, and mingling together with our beautiful community from Monaco, French Riviera, and not only. So let's make a lot of fuzz.
Yes, let's do that. As for the rest of you, I hope you liked today's episode. If so, let's continue the conversation in the comments below and share this with a friend that might benefit the information from. And until next time, take care of yourself.